You're listening to Bob Harden, streaming live online at bobharden.com.
Thanks so much for joining us here on the show. It's brought to you in part by the good folks at Johnson's Air Conditioning, Naples' longest established air conditioning company, as well as Naples Illustrated, bringing you infinite luxury lifestyles. Visit the website, NaplesIllustrated.com. Coming up, we're going to visit with Eileen Sanger. She's with the Heritage Foundation. We'll be talking about health policy and Obamacare. Right now, we have with us Joseph Semprevivo. Joseph is the owner, the founder of Joseph's Cookies, located in Sebastian, Florida. Very interesting story behind this. He's coming out with a new book, Madness, Miracles, and Millions. Joseph, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
Oh, it's my pleasure indeed. Well, I found your story. I was able to visit your website, josephslikecookies.com, and had a chance to watch a couple of videos, the TV interviews that you've had, and I found the story to be very, very interesting and inspiring. Maybe you can tell us about it.
Absolutely. You know, it's really a true American story with how our cookie company got started. You know, at 9 years old, I was diagnosed with diabetes, and there was nothing on the market. This is now a little over 35 years ago. There was nothing on the market for diabetics to have, and my mom and my dad had a little ice cream shop, and every day after school I would go and make regular ice cream. And I said, you know, I'm a diabetic, and I can't even eat this ice cream, so why don't I make a sugar-free? And I've been a diabetic now about 2.5 years. So I was around 11, almost 12 years old. We invented the very first sugar-free ice cream, and we started selling it to all the local stores in little pints. I didn't have a driver's license. My dad drove me around in a van, and we made the deliveries. And I did this for about 3 years. Now, what's so interesting about that, besides me being a little kid making ice cream, was that my mom and dad just lost everything they had. They had restaurants, and they went bankrupt. So my parents moved to another town, just like 45 minutes away, because we had a rental house there. We moved in to the rental house, and they started everything over again. My mom became a waitress, my dad became a cook, and they worked. They started building themselves back up and saving every little penny that they made. All the tips that my mom made, she saved, so they were able to open up this little ice cream shop / restaurant, and that's how we started the sugar-free ice cream. Then one Saturday, I went to my parents after 3 years of doing ice cream. I said, Mom, Dad, I really want a sugar-free cookie. I haven't had a cookie since I've been diagnosed with diabetes, and I'm now around the age of 15. And I said, could you make me one? It's been 6 years since I've had a cookie. So my mom and my dad made the very first sugar-free cookie in America, and gave it to me, and I cried. It was a Saturday morning at a little after 10 a.m., and I was just so excited that I got to eat a cookie. I said, we have to share this with other diabetics across the country. There's just no way that I could keep this to myself. And so that's what we started doing. We started packaging it and selling the cookies, and now we're in Dollar Tree and 99-cent only and Whole Foods and Publix, some of the public stores on In-N-Out, Big Lots on an In-N-Out basis, all across the United States and in about 49 countries.
Isn't that just an amazing story? So, and in fact, this all started from your own personal need and desire, and ended up sharing it with other people, and now, of course, sugar-free is in fad, and I understand one of the advantages you have at Joseph's Cookies is your sugar-free cookies taste good.
Absolutely. That's the thing is, when you look at our ingredient statement, it's pretty amazing because you see no more than 5 ingredients. So it's just like the good old-fashioned days where whatever you could raise and grow essentially is what went into the product. Unlike, today everything has 30, 40, 50 ingredients in it. You don't, you need a PhD to understand what's in it. Ours is very simple ingredients, and they taste fantastic, and that's what makes it, such a unique product.
Outstanding. Joseph's Cookies, again, in fact, I haven't been in a store for years, quite frankly. That's what we have division of labor in our family. My wife does the shopping, but I'm going to be looking for Joseph's Cookies or asking about them. So you're writing a new book, Madness, Miracles, and Millions. In fact, I think it's being released in the month of October. Maybe you could tell us about it.
Absolutely. This is a project that my dad and I always wanted to do together. And my dad always wanted to write a book. And we were sitting around the coffee table one night, and my dad said, how do you communicate, our story? Because so many people right now are going through hard times. And, whether they're in business or personal relationships or familial relationships, whatever, what can we do to uplift individuals and share, and communicate this message? I said, Dad, we've always wanted to write a book. You've always wanted to write a book. Why don't we, do this together as a father-son project? My dad's 78, and, he's my best friend. So we sat down and wrote a book about our life story. It's the memoirs about, the trials and tribulations of being in business and the challenges of being in business and the roller coaster ride that you're on, and as well as family issues. And it's a very uplifting story. And we've had several, like Debbie Maycumber, she's a #1 New York Times bestselling author. And she said, hey, look, be inspired, encouraged, and motivated. I was. And, she read the book. And we have Alex Cobb, who's a Major League Baseball pitcher for Tampa Bay Rays. And he said it was a must-read for anyone who wants to be inspired, motivated, or successful in life. So, it's one of those uplifting books that it's essentially a must-read.
I must say, Joseph, I totally agree with that. Right now, people are floundering because they can't find work, they can't find a job. And what you did, and again, as you pointed out, in many ways, lost everything. Your family was penniless, didn't have a dollar to their name, just started starting over as a waitress and a cook. And yet you had an idea. The idea was, I'm a diabetic. I'd like to be able to enjoy a treat after dinner or after lunch. And so you came up with an idea, and that's led to, and if I'm not mistaken, your business, and I don't even know this, how much volume do you do each year?
We produce, we always speak in cookies, and we produce 12 million cookies a day.
12 million cookies a day. So what a tremendous story, a tremendous success story in spite of what's happened with the economy and everything that's going on around us. And I think a great man once said, find a need and fill it. That's all it takes. Absolutely.
Well,
again, I'm going to encourage our listeners to go to your website, and if I'm doing it from memory now, I want to make sure it's correct. josephslightcookies.com. josephslightcookies.com. Is that correct?
That is correct. And the book's available right now on Amazon.com and under Madness, Miracles, Millions.
Perfect. Joseph, I genuinely appreciate your time here on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us, Bob.
My pleasure indeed. Interesting story. An inspiring story. Object lesson for all young people and people who are concerned about finding work. You can become your own employer and go out and find a need and fill it, and do like Joseph did. Become a millionaire, and that's exactly what he's done. Okay, coming up, we're going to be visiting with Eileen Sanger. She's a research associate at the Center for Health Policy and Studies at the Heritage Foundation. We're going to be talking about Obamacare, its many complexities, that and more right here on the Bob Harden Show on the Bob Harden Broadcasting Network.
Stay tuned for more of the Bob Harden Show here on the Bob Harden Broadcasting Network.